This week, the Fiends watched.
Relic 2020.
Yeah, let's be very clear about that.
Very specific, guys.
Very.
Relic kind of came out of nowhere, but we know where it came from. It came from Australia, okay?
Oh, it's definitely Australian.
Yeah. Not all bad things come out of Australia, guys, okay?
No. There's a couple good things, and this was new.
Yeah, this was new, and it got released on iTunes.
Yeah.
And we watched it. And
together.
We never, well, guys, because if you know the format of our show, we don't know what each other thinks. So if we watched it together, it's kind of weird. But we do watch it together in movie theaters.
When we used to have them.
Exactly. So, but we're kind of changing with the times. Yeah. Anyway, enough of the fucking bullshit.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
What we do really quick is we just give you a quick synopsis of what we thought of this movie, okay?
No spoilers yet.
Yeah, no spoilers yet. I'm going to ask you first, bro.
Yeah.
What did you honestly...
Deep down.
Honestly.
Yeah.
No lying because the camera's on. What did you think of Relic?
I know, dude. I feel the pressure. We haven't done this in a couple weeks. It's
yeah,
like the
dude.
lights. It's like I'm a little nervous right now. All right, man. Relic. I'm going to say that overall, I actually did like the movie. Obviously I'm gonna have flaws, Mikey. We have flaws with things, you know what I'm saying? I had a couple flaws with it.
Many flaws, yeah.
Okay. Overall, I did like the movie, but I did have a few main problems. But overall, I did like the movie. What about you?
Okay. Yeah, I guess same page. Maybe I liked it a little more than you. Just from what I from what you said.
Yeah,
from your vibe.
Yeah.
I really did like this movie. I thought there were a lot of scenes in it that you don't get in mainstream horror nowadays. You could tell it was influenced from a lot of other movies, so that's why I respected it. And I liked it because it was different, and I kind of knew what I was expecting. We'll get into that later, but overall, I did like it. It was not perfect by any means, but watching it, the hour and a half, I was fully entertained and fully liked it the whole time. So that's where I'll start, and that's where I'll stop, dude.
Yeah, dude. Didn't pause. I didn't even pause to pee, dog.
Yeah, dude. Well, yeah, because you got a fucking catheter, dude, and you're just peeing. You
but
know?
I want one installed.
You do. Okay, this movie, the reason why I found out, you want to know how I found out about this movie and texted you about it?
How?
There was a fucking article in the New York Post about it, bro.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, and I took a picture of it.
What the fuck did the Post have to say about Relic?
It was an art, and it came out the day it came out.
So Friday.
The article was in that morning's paper, right?
Smart. Good job.
Very smart. And I said, I'm not going to read the whole article until I finish the movie.
Okay.
But I read the title, and it said, Relic, a heartbreaking horror allegory. And I go, okay, horror's in there. Heartbreaking's in there. I love heartbreaking things, right?
Oh, my God.
Love allegories, dude.
Who doesn't?
So I said, okay, let me text pass because this could possibly be an F-dub. And before we watched it, we said it's going to be an F-dub. So that's how we got the news of this movie, okay?
Yeah, that's how you got it. I got it from your favorite reviewer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say his or her name. I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah.
But then why didn't you bring it up to me then?
Would you think I was lying to you when I told you where I saw it?
No, why didn't you bring it up to me when you saw it first and said, hey, we should do this for Fiends Watch?
Hey,
See what I'm saying?
Because I didn't know if it was going to be good. I didn't know if it was going to be
but
bad.
that's we don't
it's
know.
Just something. It's a Friday release. I found out Thursday.
Yeah, okay. We watch shit whether good or bad. That's all I'm trying to say.
Dude,
We're not snobs.
The point is we watched it.
Yeah.
And guys, you can too. It's on iTunes right now.
So basically, we're not going to go through the entire movie story, but it's about a daughter and a mother going back to the grandmother's house because she's been missing for 3 days and she lives alone, and they got to go back because they get a call from the police like, hey, your mom's been missing, blah, blah, blah. So that's the main story. They go back to the house, and then the grandma shows up a day later or whatever, just randomly in the kitchen, and you can tell she is suffering from it's like a dementia seed has been planted in her head, so she's kind of starting this whole dementia journey that a lot of people take. And that's the main, heart of the story.
It is. And, look, I'm not the biggest fan, and I'm not saying this is one, but I'm not the biggest fan of going to houses that may or may not be haunted. I'm not saying that this is this movie.
Yeah. I hate you for that because I fucking love those movies, man.
I've just been so done with them for a long time.
Haunted house movies, dude.
But look, you get good ones every once in a while. But again, guys, I don't consider this a haunted house movie.
there are elements to it where you're like, oh, is this a haunted house movie? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because things happen in shadows, and you're like, oh my God, wait, is this like, is there something else going on besides just the visual representation of her dementia, right? Because that's what the movie is, right? Spoiler alert, like the entire movie is just this old woman, and we're visually seeing what her mind would kind of look like. And it's that, and that's where the horror comes in. And it's like, you know, body horror, like The Fly and all these other kind of movie. And sometimes I don't like that body horror stuff.
I know what you mean.
Where it's like too health things, where like, you know, it's like a medical surgeon shit. Like, I don't like that. But this body horror, I really like.
Yeah.
So that's the allegory part of the story.
Yeah, for
is
sure.
that we're watching this grandmother deteriorate, right? Physically.
Great word.
But her mind, like, people get dementia, but you don't see, it doesn't manifest physically. See what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
It doesn't manifest physically. This literally manifests physically, and her body starts to deteriorate, and she starts to become someone totally different from who she was, basically what dementia does to you.
Right.
So I love that.
Yeah.
I love that you take a fucking real life event that a lot of the population deals with, and you make a horror movie out of it. Not a drama movie, a fucking horror movie out of it.
Right. And unfortunately, I think we both have kind of dealt here and there with family members who have had it, right? At some level.
Both my grandparents had it.
So there you go. At some level, my grandmother's kind of going through it now, but she's old.
But they didn't have it like bad. It was like my grandma lost her short-term memory.
Right.
That's it. Like,
that's where my grandma's at.
Before she, she never got to the point where she didn't recognize who people were.
No.
It wasn't anything of that, but like a year before she died, she started losing her short-term memory. That was it. And my granddad had Parkinson's before he died. We didn't really know if it was dementia. The doctor was like, it might just be the Parkinson's affecting his brain, but it wasn't like anything like the horror stories that you hear about dementia. You know?
Because they're almost scarier than Relic itself.
They are. They absolutely are.
So and I'm not jumping. We'll talk about the actual end.
Yeah. We can
I didn't know we were going to
go
spoil
wherever.
it, so
we
now we can start talking spoilers. But I think there's really only. Look, I was looking up a lot of things after the fact. I'm just a lot of reviews, just watching what people were saying, and then
I didn't watch one thing. Is that funny?
Hey, sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't.
We usually do. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just like stopped it. It ended. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Go to the next, you know? Like,
I've
I don't
done
know.
that before. But for something with this, I just go, you know what? Let me just see what else is going on. And of course, dude, because this thing got screened at South by Southwest in January, there's already things that have been posted 3 months ago. And
Okay, cool.
But anyway, what side are you on? Because it seems like it's kind of divided when it comes to the audience on what actually was going on.
Oh, okay.
Was it demonic? Was there something demonic going on? Was there something going on with the grandmother and the house? And we'll talk about the actual relic.
Yep.
Or was it the possibility that everyone's just experiencing some type of hallucinations due to black mold everywhere?
I don't agree with any of those.
Okay. That's the two.
Black
that's
mold.
the split.
Oh, yeah. No, sorry.
There's black mold everywhere.
I don't agree with any of that at all. Let me tell you what I think happened.
Let's hear it.
What I think the movie is.
Let's
I
hear
already
it.
kind of said it. I think it's a straight allegory of every perspective, a granddaughter's perspective, the mother's perspective, and the grandmother's perspective on when the grandmother gets dementia, right? And what happens and how it fucks everybody up, okay?
Yeah.
So you see like a shadow, right? And you're like, this is kind of before you know if it's a haunted thing, if it's a demonic thing, right? I think this movie is literally just a visual horror story wrapped up in what is dementia and what does it put each generation through. And I love how they did that. So all like there's two scenes with like the shadows and behind them. And like you get dementia and you start acting weird and there's things like that are behind you, right? But we are seeing that. The characters aren't seeing that. See what I'm saying? We're just seeing the shadow behind them, not the characters. That's kind of just to throw us off a little red herring of like, oh, is this like demon? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
So I think I don't agree with any of those. I think it's just an artistic license to show us in a narrative kind of way, like a story way of what dementia is and how it affects each generation. That's basically the way I took this movie.
Okay. So I'm just curious. So based off of what you're saying, when the daughter's going through, the granddaughter, the youngest girl, who did a great job, by the way.
Oh, yeah, she's great.
They all did a great job, actually. when she's going through that door and that
the
hallway,
house and she
yeah,
gets
and the
trapped
house and
and
it's
stuff,
getting
yeah.
smaller and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and she's fucking bugging out. What do you think that is?
That's a metaphor for her world closing in, and she is in a situation that she doesn't know, she's never been in before, and it's all confusing to her. So she's trapped underneath the house, and it's all moving, and the walls are changing, and all this shit. That is just visual. That's what I mean when I say, like, I gave this movie a pass of, like, literally what I'm seeing, and then what does it mean, what I'm seeing, right? So she's getting lost, and the walls are caving in, and she's trying to crawl out. She's in a situation that she's never been in before, and dementia makes you feel like, you know, you don't know where you're at.
Things
and
are
it was
new,
like,
places are different.
it's leaving trails that dementia runs in your family, and it's like little things are gonna start to happen to you in your life, and there's a chance that you might get this, and you're trapped in the grandmother's world, which is the house.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You're trapped in the grandmother's world of dementia in that house. So that's the way I look at all that stuff. It's not like, because otherwise it's like literally, if you take that literal, that she gets trapped somewhere in the house and the walls start moving and becoming smaller and doors are there and then they're gone, then you have to build that up to, oh, then it's like a haunted thing. It's like a demonic thing, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, and I just didn't take it that way. What did you think about that?
And again, I wasn't thinking that it look, I didn't even think about the fucking mold until after I was reading all this shit.
And it
seems like it just a lot of people, it was like kind of half and half. And I'm like, oh, interesting. I wouldn't have tried to peg it on anything. I feel like this is something where it's
mold,
nothing.
What mold?
So there's a lot of black mold around the entire.
Yeah, like when you see the window it's like decay. Yeah,
It's like decay. It was on the grandfather too, right? I mean, the way they showed that body was fucking dope.
amazing.
Yeah, and then just throughout the building, when she's going in that room, the classic room that, like, you know, the kid who next door got locked in.
Yep.
She checks out the hole. There's black mold, and it's like pulsating a little bit.
But that's not black mold. That's what I'm trying to say.
What is it?
I'm not arguing with you. No, it's like it's a visual representation of decay and how the grandmother's decaying and the house is decaying with the grandmother.
100%.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, dude, most definitely.
So those people, and I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah, no,
I'm just saying those people.
So I'm not subscribing to it.
There you go. I like
I'm not
it.
dying on that hill.
But I'm saying those people are basically saying then what we're seeing is black mold. But black mold does not look or act like what we saw in the movie. So then how is it black mold, guys? Black mold does not pulsate. Black mold does not grow right in front of you fast and go boo. You don't see black mold grow within seconds.
But you can hallucinate from black mold.
I'm not talking about the effects. I'm talking about what black mold is not what we saw in the movie is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know. And I don't feel like it's not a demonic thing. Like, I feel like all this has only happened because of dementia.
That's it. That's the whole
So
thing.
that's what I'm going with.
And then after I read the article, so, you know, I can post the article. Maybe I already did when I first mentioned it, and you guys can freeze frame, screenshot it, and zoom in if you want to read that article. But it interviews the director, and she's like, yeah, this entire movie's about dementia.
Yeah.
And I got this idea because someone in her family was dealing with dementia, and she thought about the generations of dementia. So that's straight from the director's mouth. So that's kind of why I'm like, okay, she said it, she made it, she wrote it. Like, this is her first feature. This is what it's about.
Right.
You know?
I watched a whole interview by these two. I've seen them before. I just don't like them. Not because they're women. I just don't like the way they ask questions, and it's super annoying. These two girls interviewed her.
Okay.
It's fucking hour long, Mikey.
Yeah, long.
And I go, I'm skipping.
Yeah, of course.
Because they're talking about nothing. And this has nothing to do with anything. Director's kind of cute.
Okay.
I
didn't even look up what she looks like.
She's only done a couple shorts, but I was like kind of into it. What I thought was interesting was that they had the grandmother in this, as you guys know if you watched it, was carving candles or making candles a lot.
The director's kind of cute?
Yeah.
Really?
What, you looking at her IMDb?
Yeah.
It's not the best photo.
No, I'm going through her whole IMDb.
Oh,
I'm looking at every photo.
Oh, man, it's subjective, you know what I'm saying?
100% subjective.
And the Australian accent. I mean, come on, dude. I'm a sucker for Australian accents. Anyway.
She's like Asianish, though.
What does that have to do? So what does that mean?
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. That doesn't have to do with anything. I'm just saying she's Asianish.
No, you think she's cute? She's kind of Asianish. All right.
No,
No. It's just how it came out was funny.
Okay,
but you mean it. Anyway.
Continue.
The candle making. I go, that's an interesting choice.
Yes.
So originally, when they're writing the script, right? They originally had the grandmother making miniatures, Mikey.
Yep,
But guess
Hereditary.
what comes out? And they said, we got to change the script. So before they even filmed it.
Wow, it's funny. That's funny.
And then they talked about...
Good piece of trivia.
Not bad, right? And it's not on IMDb. Those fuckers need to hire us. Anyway, they had to change that, and then they noticed, like, oh, yeah, and also in the lodge, like, miniatures became a thing, like, just for a little bit, nothing crazy, but I thought that was interesting how they had to change that.
Yeah.
The actual relic itself.
Yeah.
That, whatever you want to call it. What are those called, by the way, when it's like, you see them in churches, right? They're not opaque, but what's that called, where, like, it has, like, stained glass,
Stained glass window, yeah.
Does that have anything...
Okay, no, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, does that have
dude.
anything to do with... Well, again, if it's the dementia line, then the answer is no. If this movie's only happening because of dementia, and I like what you said.
It
and
is.
I'm agreeing with you. And I'm going down that path of the dementia. Fuck the black mold. Fuck any hauntings or any demonic things. The relic doesn't really add to what's going on in the house, though.
But that's why I think the movie's called Relic, because that's not that to me that wasn't the relic. The relic was the grandmother. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good way to look at
it.
The
definition of relic is an object surviving from an earlier time, especially one of historical or sentimental interest. So the mom and the granddaughter are sentimentally attached to this object, the grandmother, right?
Yeah.
Who is trying to survive from an earlier time. Okay, she's from a different time, but she's fading away. She's a relic now. She's a relic of herself, right? So that's the way I looked at it. And visually, they did do it with like the window, how it was picturesque and perfect, and then the shit starts to grow, and that was obviously the last shot of the movie. So yeah, I like this movie's so metaphorical and so under the surface, and what you're seeing is not literally like how you're supposed to take it. So that's why I feel like you can discuss this movie a lot, because once you accept that, then I feel like it's way easier to digest and to watch and to like, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. And I like the whole turn of, the mom just really, you could tell, like, yes, she's there because it's her mom, but she's not really wanting to help in the situation as much as, like, I'm here, what's going on, but not caring about the mom's, her mom's dementia.
She left her for a long time.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying is that's how people, sons or daughters of people with dementia, they struggle with that. They struggle with, holy shit, can I really deal with this?
Yeah.
How strong is my relationship with my mother, right? My father, whatever it is. This is one of the hardest. They might not even recognize me in 6 months. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's such a struggle for the son or daughter to deal with their parent with dementia. So that's what that whole thing is about. And then at the end, we'll just jump to the end of the movie.
Sure, of course.
When at the end of the movie, the grandmother has basically transformed into this kind of just shell of herself. Like, she still resembles herself, but she is a monster of herself.
Yeah.
Basically unrecognizable. What's unrecognizable when it comes to dementia? Everything. You don't recognize, the person doesn't recognize you, and you don't recognize the person.
Right.
Inside, not on the outside.
Yeah.
You don't recognize them. They're saying shit. You're like, how do you not? Like, I've known you forever, but you're unrecognizable to me. That's what the grandmother becomes. She becomes this monster that you don't want to deal with, and that's what sons or daughters do. Their parents become something they do not want to deal with, and something in their heart, whether it's half or more, they want to run from it. They want to put them in a home and run away. Put that problem, give it to someone else. I'm running out of the situation. And at the end, when they're about to run out the door, the granddaughter runs right out the door because it doesn't affect her as much because it's her grandmother, and she never really, the mom was away, so she didn't really like have a crazy strong relationship with her. So it's easier for a grandchild to run away from their grandparent with dementia, but it's not as easy as a straight child to run away from their parent when they have dementia. So when she's like, no, I got to stay, and closes the fucking door, it's just saying, like, it's such a hard choice, but it's the right choice to make. Your parents took care of you. You take care of them now. And the way this movie ended was, like, heartbreaking to me and fucking so emotional. I loved how they handled it and what they did. And at the end, I was just like, bravo. Like, that was a great metaphor and horror story for dementia, right? Because dementia is a horror story. So
yeah, the ending I thought was fantastic.
Amazing.
And you put it so well, and just now and kind of describing that. my mom watched it.
Yep.
And dude, we talked about it for about a good half an hour.
Oh,
She actually didn't like it. Now, granted, guys, she's 68. But what she said at the end was, I'm not going to a home.
Yeah.
I said, oh. Like something just kind of, oh God.
That's what I'm saying. See?
Like,
Why'd she say that? Why'd she say that?
Because
this movie reminds you of, oh my God.
Yeah.
I want, whether it's from your mom's perspective or my mom's, I want my children to take care of me when I'm older and not abandon me.
Yeah.
And put him in, and that's what the main character in this did. She did not abandon her mom to the last fucking moment, and how ugly and how nasty, and just one of the hardest things you can ask a child to do is just deal with this thing that is just decrepit and black and ripping skin off and can't even talk, and it's just this creature that you don't even fucking recognize. But for her to deal with that and lay down and rip her skin off and calm her and rub her back and say it's okay, shh, be quiet, that's a fucking sacrifice, and that is a beautiful fucking thing. So I could see why your mom was like, I'm not going to a home. See what I'm saying?
It kind of hit me in the fucking chest.
Yes, because this movie makes people, from whatever perspective it made me go, oh my God, I'm always going to take care of my parents. Regardless of whatever happens, I will always take care of my parents when they're fucking 85. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it got me a little depressed. I mean, we laughed about it, we were joking, but after our FaceTime, I was like, man, it just sucks. During all this, like, I don't even know the next time I'll be able to go down to Florida until shit gets better.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
So that kind of hit me. I'm like, fuck, dude. And I pre-warned her beforehand because obviously her mom's going through a little bit of dementia right now.
Yep.
So I was just like, hey, there's a little bit of that dementia. Just, just forewarning you. I don't know if you want to watch it or not. She overall just didn't like it, but it was the talk that we had about it. And
That's great.
It was interesting that, my point is, as I'm sure you're going to agree, it's funny that a horror film can make you feel that way about your own relationships with your mom or dad.
That's why that's why I loved it, and I thought it was amazing in that sense where it's like, oh my God, it hit me. This isn't like there's so many different kinds of horror movies, right? There's like slashers. Then there's things like Hereditary and this and like The Witch, where they're like deep and they hit you really deep.
It made us talk about Hereditary too. Just wanted to say it.
Absolutely. We had to. But yeah, again, I think my dad was, because my dad reads the Post every day. So I think it was either him or Gail that texted me the picture of the article and said, hey, this is this. But once I watched it, I went over to my parents' house. They have a nice pool, so I go over there a lot and lay out and shit. I said, Gail, do not watch this movie. Right. I said, you're going to fucking... And she doesn't even like horror to begin with. But I'm like, you're not going to like this movie. I go, it's all about dementia. I explained to her the whole thing. She's like, oh, I would hate that. I go, exactly.
Yeah.
So don't watch this movie. But thanks for, you guys, thanks for recommending it, because fucking it was great, and we're doing a Fiends watch.
That's in the Post.
Yeah.
How about that? Let's talk real quick about the actual... what the mom became and how good they did a job going from practical to... the face being a little CG when it was needed, back to like animatronic. Like that shit was dope. Like they actually got like someone who runs puppets and animatronics to do that. I thought it was
when was she a puppet? When she was black, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yes. So
really, I thought that was just a really skinny person with stuff over them.
So there's transitions between animatronic to the actual actress with stuff on her face.
Okay.
To
the actual old
CGI.
actress.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
With the black shit.
Yeah, unless they said it was a different actress. The point, it was still a person underneath.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was exactly the same actress. I said, wow, they handled that fantastically with pulling the skin off.
I thought it was all practical.
Yeah,
great. Like I thought it was just all practical effects because it looked like all practical. Yeah,
and you can see when the mom is actually like, when there's the back point of view where she's kind of holding the skull.
Yep.
You could see that it's just like, it's a little light because it was obviously like a puppet or something.
Okay.
But they did a fantastic job. I go, that's such a great use of a person to a dummy to CGI, back to a dummy, back to a person. They probably cut back a few times. Yeah. I thought it was fantastic. That was one of the coolest things I've seen, like effects wise in a lower budget horror film in a long time.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you right now, there was like 2 scenes in this movie where I was straight up terrified. Like I was there. No, I don't remember specifically what they were, but it was like the vibes of this entire. There were like the bed scene when she's about to look under the bed. Terrifying scene.
Dude.
That was one. There was another one that I thought was even scarier. One where she's walking backwards and you don't realize it.
Dude, and she parts the hair.
Yeah,
I said,
like, that's amazing.
Great job, guys.
No, you don't need any effects.
Nope.
You don't need any fucking anything. You're just like, okay, walk backwards. And okay, she walks backwards. And then put your hands out and open up your hair. Like, that's easy, low budget creativity that's why I really like this movie and respected it that's all you need to scare me.
No, that might have been one of the most startling scenes, even though it's nothing it's not a shape, it's not a figure, it's just
but that's
her
what I'm saying, dude.
walking backwards.
But that's all you
slowly.
need.
That's
like,
all
you don't need these CGI ghouls and ghosts and shit, windows slamming and going crazy like the end of Conjurings, which I feel like the end of Conjuring movies just don't add up to the first 2 acts at all because they get so crazy with it. Just a scene like that just scares the shit out of me. Yeah. And then there was one more. I can't remember a specific. It was the scariest one to me. I can't remember which one it was.
You know what I dug? While you're trying to think of that, it's the opening scene.
Great,
dude. The Christmas tree in the background and the grandma standing there in what I think is the same shawl that the granddaughter puts on later. It's just like kind of not on.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the opening scene.
Yeah.
And when did it happen? You know what?
Good. I'm so glad that we are talking about it because I didn't think about it. I haven't thought about that question until right now.
What?
I haven't thought about. It's not like when I was doing all my videos. Like no one talked about the Christmas tree.
When the movie ended, I'm like, okay, where was that first scene from?
Okay.
I have a theory, but if you have a theory...
No, I don't. I just wanted to say what creeped me out about that scene because I rarely, unless I feel like I need to, if there's something on screen that you need to read, like a note or something, I'll pause it. I'm on the page of that now. I used to not be. But I go, wait, did I just see a figure but not see a figure? Okay.
Definitely a figure.
Dude, and when they're kind of zooming in a little bit at the back of her and she kind of turns and you just see that figure stand up from the chair.
Yep.
That is what always gets me in horror films. What's there in the corner?
Yeah.
You can't really see it. Who the fuck was it? And did I just see it? It was fantastic. I had to bring it back like 10 seconds and then I watched it again. What do you think? Because I don't know when this is taking place.
Well, I think so the water's going down the stairs and you see it from her feet and she's walking. You're like, okay, a bathtub's overflowing and she's going down the stairs and she gets to the doorway and you see a Christmas tree. So, okay, Christmas time, right? You're like, okay, Christmas time. So we know. So there's a time frame, right?
Yes.
And then you see the figure pop up, and then it just cuts, right? So then throughout the movie, at the end, she's black. So you know that this took place before, right?
100%.
Because no one else was in the house. I think that's just to show when the dementia first started. That shadow is the dementia. That shadow is a representation of the dementia. That's exactly what that is. And it's to show us that that's when it started. That's a first bathtub overflowing. See what I'm saying? And
it's a good point, though.
They also want to keep us in the mist, in the confusion of is it a haunted thing, is whatever. So she goes, is the shadow drawn? Like, is it kind of coercing her to come down the stairs and see it? Is she just doing it because she's crazy? Like, we don't know. That's why it keeps us in that realm of confusion. But by the end of it, I'm like, yeah, I think that shadow was just dementia. And she, remember I was saying it's going to get me the whole time?
100%.
That's dementia. Like, she's saying, this dementia is getting me. I see it. I know it. It's here in this house, and it's affecting everything, and it's going to get me, and there's nothing we can do about it.
It manifested. The dementia literally became something that's walking.
It is.
Yeah, it's there.
That's what I'm saying. That for obviously in real life, that never happens. That's why the whole movie is a fucking metaphor. But that is the way I took it. Is just, this is when the dementia started. That's the first day that there was any sign in her mind that the dementia started.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure. I'm like, is this a scene that's going to come back later? Because I'm going, because they're walking around the house. I go, there's no tree. Yeah. So that's a good point. What you just said, which I never thought of, that was the first signs of it. Because, dude, let's be real. The way that the grandmother is now, she ain't taking down or putting up Christmas trees by herself.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That place is falling apart.
So
it has to be the early, if not the first stage. That's a 100%. You got to add the time to be.
Yeah, dude. Thanks, man. So I thought the movie was definitely scary, and that's what kept me in it.
Yes.
Was like, is the next scene going to be scary, right? Yeah. Because I need that. A lot of people on IMDb. It's slow, it's boring, nothing happens, blah, 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 blah. But again, if you're not looking at it like it's a dementia horror movie told visually. So let's do a visual horror movie about dementia.
Yeah.
If you're not watching in that, then I could see how it's slow and boring, and there's no climax in the end because you're like, this fucking lady, all of a sudden she's a creature and she breaks through a wall and she climbs through a wall and then now they're nice to her and they're ripping skin off her back and then I didn't like I could see why someone didn't like it if they're not looking at it from that perspective.
Yeah, it was a great shot. It was almost the last scene. Then they decided to add the shot of the window pane. Yep. But they wanted the last scene originally to be them in the bed, and then the daughter discovered the shoulder.
I love that last scene. It's such a generational fear, right? Excuse me, of people. Just people who want to, remember the fucking lady who got in trouble because she was like, oh, we could tell what you're going to get if you're going to get cancer. Elizabeth, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that documentary was.
Yep.
So it's like people are always have been worried about like what runs in my family.
Absolutely.
Dementia, cancer, diabetes, whatever it is, like what runs in my family. And that is just I'm not saying the mom is getting dementia right at the end. That's not what that's saying to me. It's showing us that the mother is taking care till the end, no matter how ugly and unrecognizable her mom gets. She's going to be there for her and see her off. And then the granddaughter comes in and is like, oh, I'm learning from my mother. I'm seeing what my mother does, and I'm going to learn from that. I'm going to go lay next to my mother, overhead shot of 3 generations, one after the other, horribly stricken with dementia, totally fine, and one who doesn't even fucking had nothing to do with dementia, never even fucking dealt with it at all.
Right.
And then for a POV of the granddaughter to look, because I'm like, why isn't she putting her hand on the mom's back? I go, that would have been so cool. The mom has her hand on the grandma's back. I was like, oh, the daughter should have the hand on the mom's back. What the fuck? And then I go, oh, wait, don't even fucking tell me they're gonna. And then she pulls down the dress and you see that just a little bit of that black shit underneath the skin. And you go, bravo, dude. It's just to show the granddaughter that one day I might have to do this. My mom might become that, and I might have to do that. And one day I'm going to become that, and my daughter's going to have to do it for me, and their daughter's going to have to do it for them, and it's going to keep going on and on and on and on and on. I'm the relic, she's the relic, we're all the fucking relics.
The bed keeps on growing, dude. Just more kids just keep getting added to it.
That's it. Black kids.
Yep. Yeah. She becomes a black grandma.
That's what I'm saying. Come on, dude.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought that the ending just really brought it home, man. But I really thoroughly did enjoy the movie. I think that the scariest scene for me was the under the bed. It was one of the scariest ones because just imagine you're a person. It doesn't matter what the situation is. I'm a person? Imagine you're a person for once.
What? Oh my God, I'm a person, dude. This is crazy. What do I do?
And you know what's crazy? Again, we're seeing it from her POV. She literally sees something breathe and turn, and then a book hits her on the head, which, by the way, that book came from nowhere.
Yeah, it was at the end of the fucking thing.
It was nowhere.
That's what I'm saying. The grandma didn't do it.
No, the grandma didn't do it, Mikey. Yeah. So who's dropping books?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's the red herring shit of, is this a demonic thing? Is this a ghost? What is this, right?
Right.
It's to keep us guessing the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
And did a good job.
Great job.
Because I was still thinking about it after and I had to look it up and I didn't subscribe to either. I did not subscribe to the black mold or a demonic or hauntedness.
Yeah, the black mold shit, fuck you people. If you think black mold has anything to do with this movie, fuck you. You are R-worded 100%.
Yeah, you're really
ridiculous.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And then also, I love the dreams of the mom with the shed.
Absolutely.
Right? Those were really, really, really scary, quick flash editing scenes. And I was like, oh, dude, these are good. Like, this is creepy shit.
Yeah, the grandfather falling down, and then she sees her own mom falling down.
In the second one, yeah, exactly.
You can't neglect her, man, and that's when she kind of turned. That's when she ran out to her after the grandmother was like eating photos of herself, which is fucking crazy, or eating just family photos. And she's like, come live with me. She made that turn, man. It's all about you got to take care of your parents.
Yeah, that's what it's showing.
They brought you in. You got to take care. I'm going to Florida tomorrow. Fuck COVID, dude.
Yeah, dude. Or you should tell your mom to move back up here.
Yeah, this is something we talk about off mic.
I'm like, oh, no, okay. I'm just saying, like, everyone's East Coast, up Northeast Coast, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, all right.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, so again, I really did enjoy this movie. Not gonna be the biggest rewatcher of this movie. Probably never watch it again.
Probably never watching it again.
But that doesn't mean a movie's bad, is what I'm trying to say.
Fine, dude.
Doesn't mean a movie's bad.
How many F-dubs have we done where that's the case? We're
Not
like,
one.
Dude, good. What'd you say?
Not one.
I'm never watching 7500 again, ever again.
You're not watching
7500?
Oh, yeah, I'll never watch it again. I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah, you might.
We did a lot.
You're going to watch it tomorrow.
No, I'm kidding about, of course we've done movies like that.
We've done shitty, obviously shitty movies you're never going to want to watch again.
But when it comes to this, like, even before I press play, I'm like, I know it's not going to be a movie I'm going to rewatch.
Right.
To me, because I read the fucking thing in the article that says, oh, great horror allegory. I'm going, okay, so it's going to be visually telling me something that is supposed to mean something else. It's not really what's going on. It's what is underneath the surface. What is this trying to tell me, right? So those kind of movies usually aren't the biggest rewatch factor.
Right.
If you're watching it from that perspective from the first time.
Yeah.
If you're not, and then by the end you get it, and you're like, oh, now I get it. She has dementia. The mom's going to get dementia. The granddaughter might get dementia. Let me rewatch this again as like, oh, this is just a woman deteriorating, but visually. Because you don't see someone deteriorate physically from dementia. It's a brain disease.
Right.
So this is what would it look like, right, if someone did physically deteriorate from dementia.
Who was the best actress in the movie?
I felt like they were all good, man.
They're all really good.
The old lady was really good.
You had to be.
Maybe the mom, because she was, I don't know, the mom.
I'd say the mom.
What about you?
I'd say the mom.
Yeah,
They might be fantastic.
I think they were all just good. You know what I'm saying? It was like no one really there was no Toni Collette. You know what I'm saying? There was no one where you go, oh, this is the fucking. They all held their own. Absolutely.
I like the kid next door too. He was a nice young actor who was normal.
You like the boys. We know, dude.
He was a man.
We know. Well, I'm just saying, bro. You like the boys.
He was a man, dude. Yo, it's a little split on RT, man.
Fuck it. 100%. Even on IMDb, I was reading user reviews as I'm watching the movie. Not the whole reviews, guys. Just the titles of the things.
Yeah, usually they're pretty good if they say it's a spoiler or not. But RT, Rotten Tomatoes, for you non-nerds out there, 92 critics, 51 user.
And it has a 6.0 on IMDb, which I think equates to like an 80% on Rotten Tomatoes, usually. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Especially for this,
if you tell me a movie, what did it have a user score?
51.
So if you tell me a movie has a 51 RT user score, I would say it might have, I don't know, 4.8 on fucking, maybe a 5.0.
I always feel like
5.3.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
People judge it just like you. I'm saying people judge movies way harder than critics. See what I'm saying?
Oh, without a doubt.
That's why the scores to IMDb don't really, go exactly like they are with RT. I feel like you got to kind of minus 10 points.
Right.
It's a weird system I have, Maybe I'm going through something. Maybe I'm going to turn into a black fucking, you know what I'm saying? We don't know.
I'm not peeling your skin off, dude.
What?
No. I'm not your son.
Dude, it's going to be easy.
I'm not your kid.
It's going to be easy, dude.
You got to get your younger brother to do. That's a younger brother. That's not best friend job.
I don't know, dude.
Just peel your skin off and see you turn into
It's easy, bro. Easy peasy, man.
Dude, it slides off like chicken off a bone.
That's it. It does.
However, it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
And I'll probably never eat again.
Yeah.
And then I got to see you just.
Yeah, dude. That's it. Can I have one more bogey before I die,
dude, you'd be fiending for it. And that breathing that she's doing.
Yeah.
You want just a little hit, dude. I put it. Look, that's what I would do. Yeah. I'd put the bogey to the mouth.
Thanks, man. I could peel my own skin off. But when the mom, so the actiony climax is when she's attacking them.
Yeah.
Right? And trying to get through the wall and whatever. I'm like, that, anytime someone they're going through a tiny space and someone's chasing them, a killer, creatures, whatever it is, from another space, and they have to crawl through a tiny hole to get through, it gives me such anxiety when like the last person has to go through and they're halfway through, and you just know that they're gonna get pulled somehow, and it's always like, when's it gonna happen? Like almost like a jump scare where you're like, that's how I feel about that, and it got me. I'm like, just fucking pull her or let her go. Stop.
One or the other. Either get sucked in or get sucked out.
Just don't keep her. I don't know. They did a good job with that final. Because you got it. What's her name? Natalie Erica James. Like, you got to realize you're making a horror movie, right? So a lot of horror fans are going to jump to this and watch it. So you gotta shoot that heroin into these horror fans' veins. So that's why you got to give us certain scenes like that.
Yeah.
No jump scares. There were literally like no jump scares. No. The only book falling on her head, but that wasn't really a jump scare. What was scary was before the jump scare. It was when she's just peeking under the bed. You're like, even before she lifted the curtains, I'm like, oh shit, dude,
like,
what's
under
be,
there? The mom's like, you didn't look?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, she didn't look. You're right.
Yeah.
She has to go further.
I think there was one scary scene that I can't remember, when it was the granddaughter walking through the house. Nothing really happens, but it was her walking through the house and the way that they filmed it. And it's like, what is gonna come out? What are we gonna see? Because I hate old people in horror movies. They scare the fuck out of me,
Absolutely.
dude. So this movie was right up my alley when it comes to scaring me.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's all you need.
I hate like creepy old people. I fucking hate,
especially if they're short.
Yeah,
that's the worst combination.
And then if they have dementia, to where like they're walking backwards with their hair over their face, you know what I'm saying?
Just like weird ripping apart flesh on the chest, dude. When she looked in the mirror the
That
first
was
time,
the
it was just
first-
black
yep,
going,
yep,
ugh, it just
yep.
made me feel. I just couldn't- I
Body
didn't want-
horror. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's body horror. That's
body
what it
horror,
is,
like
yeah.
the fly and shit. It's just like that.
And then her last stage before peeling it off was just so gross.
Yeah.
She's like, you see like the breathing through the
Yep.
chest. You're just
Yep.
like,
Great
oh,
practicals,
God,
man. I
dude.
loved it.
Yeah, the
loved
practicals
it.
were really good in this film.
Yeah. So
Scores?
scores, dude. Yeah.
You gotta
go
give it
first
first.
for
Yeah.
scores, yeah.
Yeah. Hit him with your score, dude. We do 1 out of 10. It's the dope meter. It's
We
what
do
call
1
it.
out of 10, guys. I'm gonna give this movie overall.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this movie a 7.8.
Ah, nice
7.8.
fucking score, dude. I'm gonna give this
78.
movie. It converts. I'm gonna give this movie a 7.3.
Perfect in the 70s, dude. I love it.
And dude, for us to do a horror film for Fiends Watch, it just came out on a Friday when we both didn't expect it really. I love it.
Yeah,
Give
it
us
was
more.
a great. Yeah. It was a great. Like, obviously you could say breath of fresh air, but I like how it wasn't a. I don't know, like
I know what you
like
mean.
a Conjuring or like an Insidious. Like
We
it
didn't watch the
wasn't
trailer 6 months ago.
no,
and it also,
not
like,
even knowing about it. Not just like we knew kind of what it was in the Hereditary vibe. It was in the
Oh,
Babadook
yeah,
vibe,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was in that category where it was like there's something unique. It wasn't like, oh, a new slasher movie's out. Cool, let's watch this slasher movie.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this new like kind of Babadook-esque movies out, Hereditary-esque movies out. I'm pumped. I love movies like that. So I was like, I'm pumped to watch this fucking movie, you know?
Same.
The
I don't even know what the budget is. We're not gonna look it up. I'm a
couple mil,
5 million.
Yeah,
sure.
100%. But the thing on the cover, which I love, it says, "Take the loaded subtext that fuels the Babadook and Hereditary, and add the most emotional parts of the body horror found in The Fly. I don't expect another horror movie to bring me to tears this year." That was Phil Nobel Jr. from Fangoria, which I love Fangoria.
Who doesn't?
I got 300 fucking of their. I used to subscribe to them, bro. Their magazines. They used to send me all the magazines, man. Then it stopped, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, they
It
had a
stopped.
resurgence in it.
It stopped. Dude. No. Sorry. I think they still released them. I'm saying it stopped for me. It stopped coming. I'm not saying they stopped.
Oh, I thought
Sorry.
they stopped.
I don't know. I don't think they stopped, man.
I knew there was a resurgence. Didn't know when though.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I mean that's a great little line. It's right at the top. Did not see that the first time either.
Yeah.
At the top of the poster.
So where we at? Yeah.
Do we reco?
Probably. Wow, there's no trivia for this movie.
No, there's 2. It's terrible.
No, it says none.
I got 2.
Mine says be the first to add to this title.
Oh, I got 2.
Oh, what is it?
Phones
What
are
does it
different.
say? What does it say?
And they're not good.
Well,
They're
just
really
give
not
me.
good.
Well, give us something, dude.
Oh no, you're right. That's not trivia.
Thank
I'm sorry. I
you.
thought I had it open, dude. I didn't realize I clicked on.
This
user
guy
review
thinks he's
by
got a
accident.
phone and he's better. You know what I'm saying?
Phone and he's better.
That's how
Stop.
I said
Yeah,
it.
Yeah. We won't go any further. No, there's not going to be. I mean, yeah, sure. There's not going to be. We can add something to it if you want.
No.
Something makes it-
I was just gonna read trivia, but because we
Well-
just got to kill a couple more minutes. I was. I want to look at some negative things.
some negative reviews.
Filming something in the dark doesn't make it scary. Honestly, couldn't see half of what was going on. Greatly overrated, which is sad because I love good Australian movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't feel that it was too dark once.
No, and
because
if
worked.
parts were too dark, that made it good, like Hereditary, where the scares are like, wait, what am I seeing?
Oh, that's lame.
One says most overrated movie I've seen so far this year. 4 out of 10, dude. It's generous.
Should have just been a short indie horror game. 2 out of 10. Get out of here.
Horror game?
Horror game.
What?
Dude, you can't. They've tried games in the past that were dealing with you go to someone's house looking for someone a la Resident Evil. That's a huge game, but there's indie games like that go, oh yeah, there's some creepy shit in there. You would never, not once did I think
for
video
this.
game
Yeah,
during
for
this.
this?
It's a movie for a reason.
With 3 women in a house.
100%. Get that person out of here.
Another attempt that ends in nothing. Here we go again. Another attempt of a slow burn horror movie, but only thing that burnt out was my patience. I mean, it's one thing if after all the buildup made suspense, we would actually get some genuine scares, but here it is, just not there. Nothing, not a single moment of fear. At the end of the day, the movie can look good, have fine actors, and possess a decent story, but would be nothing without the actual horror, which turns out to be the title of the genre, Avoid. You suck.
Whoa.
You suck, dude.
1
Yeah.
star. A bore fest.
Well, hey, you're very creative. No one's ever wrote that before, man.
Oh, like this
The next
asshole.
one says,
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
boronic.
He saw the bore fest.
That's actually kind of creative, though.
Yeah, sure,
I've never
it's not
heard
bad.
that word.
Me neither.
Boring plus moronic. Boronic. That's pretty
Kudos
good,
to
man.
that guy. Last one I'll read
I'm being
is...
Oh,
sorry.
no,
Just
so
1 star.
I was reading the boronic one.
Oh,
I'm being,
yeah.
I'm being generous. This is so tedious, so uninspired, and so subcultural. It has pride of place in a Roman vomitorium. You are the worst guy. Okay.
Dude, no one says vomitorium
What do you
anymore.
got? One more?
This film is so deep. That's the title. ... in the body, and yet so boring and totally pointless. 1 star.
Wow.
They tried to be creative, you know?
Wow.
Film is so deep. Check out my review.
Oh
1
my
star.
God.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So,
crazy, man.
Fuck those people who say they didn't like it. You are definitely
They didn't get it.
entitled to your opinion.
Sure.
I'm not saying we're smarter than you and they didn't get it. Maybe they just didn't like it,
I
right?
am saying that, though.
Well, you shouldn't
I did.
because well, you can't.
I just did.
We
Dude.
can say it off camera, just like, you know, the other shit.
Oh, the
you
other
know what I'm
thing.
saying?
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
But whatever, dude. It's our show. We do what we want, you know?
You're right.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend this movie.
100%.
Even after us telling you, even if some people like watch our reviews and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna go watch the movie.
Yeah.
This is a perfect example of that because there's nothing to spoil.
Guys, even what we said about the ending and transformation, you don't know what it looks like until you saw it.
Yeah, and
We
it's
talked
like
about it, but
yeah, and it's like I don't know, like there's really not a lot to spoil in this movie. So
Right.
if what we said interests you and you're like, oh wow, that seems like a good watch, it's an hour and a half. Just go fucking watch it, man.
yeah, it's available. It's out there.
So I would definitely recommend this movie if what we said intrigues you.
Yeah, if there's nothing else going on in your life and you're sitting around going, I got nothing to watch.
Yeah.
This last 3 months have just been, this is out there, dude. There's
I
things
love
that
it.
just pop every once in a while. So
love
go
it.
watch Relic, the 2020 version, not the
Yes.
1995 version. Yeah.
All right, I think that's it, dude. I got nothing else.
No, that's it. We did a good job. That was fun.
Did we do? Don't you're like boosting us up, dude.
We should because
We
we're
did
good.
Did we do a good job?
I think we did.
You think we did?
You assholes let us know in the comments if we didn't.
Thank you. So yeah, we're glad to be back. We know we haven't been putting out as many videos, but hey, man, as soon as movies come out, we're gonna watch them and review them.
Absolutely.
Separately. That's it, man.
Always.
That's it.
Really, I fucking hate this guy.
So thanks for stopping by the watch. One more time.
As always.
We're gonna be back next time with. What are we gonna be back next time with?
Something-
Oh yeah. Something.
A show.
Something. Good. Yes. Good.
Hi.
Cut.
Dementia, dude.